So I'm in the mood for some pumpkin pie right now, and it is not Thanksgiving, and pumpkin pie takes a long time to make, and I don't have that much time, so that is pretty disappointing. But instead of making an entire pie, making a crust, putting the pie filling, baking it, letting it cool, putting it in your fridge, blah, 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 10 days later you have a pumpkin pie. Instead, we're gonna make a pumpkin pie pizza. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be all the flavors of pumpkin pie, and it's gonna come together really, really quickly. You got yourself a pumpkin pie, you got yourself a pizza pie. They both have the word pie in it, so they're both pies, which means a pumpkin pie can be a pumpkin pizza pie. So let's make a pumpkin pizza pie, or a pumpkin pie pizza. Let's jump right into the recipe. Preheat your oven 350 degrees. While that's going, let's make the dough. First thing is 40 grams of self-rising flour. I put a spoon of flour in and it exploded out of the bowl. Like, this gets on my t-shirt, I will not be happy. Second thing is gonna be 10 grams of coconut flour. And I like a little more bubbles in this thing, and that means baking powder. We're just gonna need a little small pinch, along with a pinch of salt. And your favorite pumpkin pie spices. If you have pumpkin pie spice, use that. It'll make your life easier, but I don't have it. And that's okay, because I'm gonna use cinnamon, nutmeg, and ground cloves. You don't have to use any of these. If you only want to use cinnamon, it's still gonna be delicious. Use whatever spices you want that make you feel like you're eating a pumpkin pie. Maybe you have your pumpkin pies with garlic powder. You can just put that in there. But my pumpkin pies, no garlic in it. Do you see what I was talking about? How did flour get on my shoulder when the bowl is down there? So I love cinnamon, so I'll go like a teaspoon of cinnamon and then a little pinch of nutmeg and cloves. Cloves, I'm telling you, like, I don't know what they do, but a little bit goes a long way. It just adds like a warmness. Like when I add cloves to something, the food's just hugging me. It's keeping me warm, but too much, and just don't do it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but like nutmeg is like a nut. Probably because the name nutmeg. But if you eat the entire nut, you will die apparently. Like it's poisonous. In powdered form in small amounts, it's not poisonous. Pretty sure I read that somewhere like 5 years ago, and I've believed it ever since. Is it okay to sprinkle a little bit of poison in your food but eat the whole nut and like you die? I don't know. Let me know if you know. And I like my pumpkin pie sweet, which means this dough needs to be sweet. So I'm gonna go in with 40 grams of erythritol. You can use any sweetener you want. And give all your dried ingredients a stir, because right now it's looking like sandar with the cinnamon, the cloves, and then the coconut flour and the white powders. But make it all into one. And that, guys, is what combined dry ingredients looks like. Exciting? Yes, I know. Contain yourself? I will too. What the heck? How is there flour on my shoulder? Time to get wet. Guys, pumpkin. Did you guys think we were gonna make pumpkin pie without pumpkin? Well, it's pumpkin pie pizza, but it needs pumpkin, right? So there's gonna be pumpkin in the dough. Do you guys have a singing oven? Let me know. 30 grams of pumpkin is going right in. That's 40. I'm gonna scoop some out. There's a little bit on top that has not touched the flour, no big deal. 33, 3 more grams. 32, okay, how is that only 1 gram? 31, almost there. 29, great, I went over, okay. 30 grams of pumpkin, and that is why you don't measure things like that. You put the bowl in here, you click tear, you put your spoon in, it goes minus 30, and then you're like, all right, perfect, 30 grams. You don't have to scoop pumpkin out of dry ingredients like I did, but you learn from me, so you don't make the mistakes that I do. And we're gonna need 60 grams of Greek yogurt. So, if I open this, and it is watery, I'm gonna be upset. That is it. Did it just leak? That's pretty thick. Acceptable. We are also gonna need 55 grams of egg whites. Guys, vanilla extract, come on. The more the better. The more the merrier, that's the saying. What am I saying? Wait, no, I can't say merrier. This isn't Christmas, this is Thanksgiving. Even though it is not November, so the more the better. I added 1 packet of this, so you guys can add 1 packet, 2 packets, 3 packets, as many packets as you'd like. If you don't know how sweet you like it, mix the batter, taste it. Actually, I can't tell you to do that because the flour is raw, so don't taste it, but just like magically find out if it's sweet enough, and if it's not, then just add some sweetness. The dough is done mixing, so, you know, don't do this because it has raw flour in it. Tastes perfectly sweet to me. That 1 packet of sweetener gives it that little extra burst of sweetness. This is how it looks. Light orange. It tastes like fall time or autumn. Do you guys say autumn? I just say fall. The pizza pan, a circle pizza pan. Do you need a circle pizza pan? No, you could use a square, you could use a trapezoid, you could use a diamond. Whatever shape pizza pan you have, that will work. But I got a circle because I am authentic, and this is authentic as well. Parchment paper, all the dough in the middle. Spread it really thinly. I like a thin pizza. You guys like a deep dish, you guys like a thick pizza, then you can make it thick, but I like to go a thin, big circle. Does it look appetizing right now? No. It's literally like a bunch of goop, orange, gross colored goop on a pan, but it will be appetizing at the end, okay? Just trust me. You don't need a pumpkin pie. You need a pumpkin pie pizza in your life. Instead of pumpkin pie, it's pumpkin peas. Everyone has their own preference of thickness, so you guys are gonna decide how thin or how thick you want your pizza to be. I like it on the thinner side, so I spread it out a lot, but if you like it thick, then don't spread it out a lot. This is the way to do it. You just put your spoon down, and then you just rotate the pan. You know how they take pizza dough and they go like this, and they toss it up in the air, and then they spin it up? This is the exact same technique. The exact same, just as authentic, just as hard. I'm ambidextrous, guys. Look at that. Bet you didn't know I was ambidextrous. Ooh, that is some good dough. Give it one of these to get rid of any air bubbles that might exist and just to get it a little flatter. And then you take this and you pop it in your oven, 350 degrees. And now we make the frosting. So, of course, we can't just top the pumpkin pie off with marinara sauce and cheese. Like, would that be a pumpkin pie pizza? No. Something that's wet and creamy and resembles pumpkin pie to go on top of that dough so that it turns into a pumpkin pie pizza. And the first thing we're gonna need for that is pudding mix. So I'm using vanilla, sugar-free, fat-free pudding mix. We're gonna need 10 grams of this. If you just use pudding mix, bad things will happen. It will literally rip your tongue off. So you need a pack of sweetener. Just trust me. You need a pack of sweetener. Any sweetener, does not matter. And you also want a pinch of salt to bring out all the flavors. And if you don't want a pinch of salt, it will not taste like pumpkin pie. It's just gonna taste like regular pizza. But the pinch of salt brings out all the pumpkin pie flavors, and this is what does it. So magic ingredient, just a pinch of salt, a little bit of cinnamon. I'm just going with a tiny sprinkle. I don't want cinnamon to come like smack me in the face, but if you do, that's cool. But I just want like a little bit of cinnamon, maybe a gentle tap on the shoulder, you know? Hey, I'm there, and I'm cinnamon. And then you take this and you give it a thorough mix, which I will do by doing this with the bowl. And you're probably like, wait, that's not a frosting, like that's just dry powder as well. This is when the wet creamy stuff comes in. So we need Greek yogurt and pumpkin, 70 grams of pumpkin, 50 grams of Greek yogurt to get that ideal pumpkin creamy Greek yogurt ratio. We're also gonna need a little bit of vanilla extract. Whatever that amount was is the perfect amount, which is just a squeeze. If you like a little bit of more vanilla, a bigger squeeze. If you like a little bit of less vanilla, a bigger squeeze, because vanilla makes everything better. You need a lot. It is only gonna need one last thing, and that is some sugar-free maple syrup. 15 grams of this is gonna go in here. Give it a taste. That tastes so good. If you like it more sweet, you can add more sweetener. This is gonna go in your freezer for 10 to 15 minutes. So that has been in the oven for 25 minutes. It is time to take it off, and I wanna bake it just a little bit more because I want it a tiny bit crispier, but I don't wanna keep it on the pan because the bottom isn't gonna get enough heat. I'm gonna put it on something that has grates like this, just so the bottom can get enough heat and can get a little bit brown. Put this back in the oven and keep an eye on it. So my oven can get up to 500 degrees. Whatever your maximum heat is, put it on that because we just want to brown this. It's already cooked. It's already done. We just want to get it a little crispier. So just max heat and watch it the entire time. 5 minutes is all it takes. And that is it. You do not need long. When you make the heat that high, it's going to get crispy and it can burn quick. So keep an eye on it. As soon as the outside looks like it's getting golden brown, you are done. So we're just going to let this sit here and cool off for a little bit before we top it off with our frosting. This pumpkin pie pizza is almost ready. grab a plate. This is done, so this goes right onto the plate. This is kind of hot, but not that hot, so don't worry. Actually, no, this is extremely hot, but my hands do not feel heat. I got the no heat hands genetics. Take your frosting out of the freezer, give it a mix. Hopefully you didn't put it in there for too long, because if you do, it'll get like a thin sheet of ice on top. If you didn't, like I did not, then it should be perfect. It should be super cold. It should be thicker and perfect for spreading. Put it all in the center and then spread. And last thing, you could top this off with whatever you want. Sometimes I like to put cereal on it. Sometimes when I don't want to add too many calories, I'll put a little bit of puffed rice just for that extra crunch. But I like to also keep it simple sometimes. And when I like to keep it simple, I like to do a little bit of cinnamon sugar, but without sugar because sugar has calories. So cinnamon erythritol, but that just doesn't have a nice ring to it. And cinnamon artificial sweetener also does not sound very appetizing. So we're gonna call it cinnamon sugar and not use sugar. Take about a tablespoon of erythritol and then a little sprinkling of cinnamon, a very small amount of cinnamon, and just give this a thorough mix, which all you have to do is do one of these. I like to leave a little bit of a crust on this pizza because I like a little extra cinnamon sugar on the crust, but just go everywhere around. Look at this with the cinnamon sugar, with the pumpkin frosting. Am I at Thanksgiving dinner? What? Pumpkin pie? A pizza? Who would have thought? Take your pizza cutter. If you want to go 4 slices, you can go 4 slices, but I like to go 8 slices. Ah, this is so perfect. Back onto the plate. Look, Did you guys see that slide? Look at that, no flop. The bottom is crispy. Oh man, I don't need a pumpkin pie. Like, this is everything I love about pumpkin pie in a pizza. I'm telling you, that frosting, man, this is literally like a giant snickerdoodle cookie base with pumpkin pie filling as a topping, sprinkled with cinnamon sugar. Like, this crust piece right here, no frosting needed. It's so good. It's literally like the flavors of a snickerdoodle cookie. Sweet, cinnamony. You got that warmness and that spice from the nutmeg and the cloves specifically. A little bit goes a long way. That frosting is thick. Look at that. It's not sliding anywhere. It's not falling off. Like, no. It's so good. And the only thing that can make this entire experience better is a little bit of coffee. Ooh, that sweetness, that bitterness, that is a party that I want to be at, and I am at it right now. Come join me. Ooh. That post-coffee burn in the throat. Ah, that was hot. Let's see how dipping the crust in the coffee goes. You guys know how you dip your pizza crust in ranch or dip your pizza crust in marinara sauce so you can get a little saucy? Well, dip your pumpkin pie pizza crust in some coffee. Now that is a strange combo that is pretty good. Ooh, that is good. Next Thanksgiving dinner, I'm gonna sit there with a cup of black coffee and I'm gonna be eating that next to my pumpkin, pecan, apple pies. Imagine waiting overnight for pumpkin pie to cool in the fridge. Couldn't be me, because I got a pumpkin pie pizza right there. And then your classic crust fold, like that. Too good. You want that pumpkin pie craving hit quick and easy? This is what you make. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you all in the next video.